Hey friends, it's me, Spencer, and I'm here to review Rise of the Tomb Raider for the Xbox One. This is a limited exclusive. It's good for about 6 months, and then it goes to the other console, PS4. So, this game is a follow up to the Tomb Raider. Is that what it was called? I don't remember the last one. I didn't actually play it, but it's the one that came out on the PS3 and Xbox 360 got remastered. Apparently, it was really really good. Spoiler if it was anything like this, it is fantastic. So, this game is Lara Croft. She's already an explorer. She's following in the footsteps of her father, who found something, a relic that he believes grants immortality. Now, he was made a fool out of himself by the public. That's not phonetically right. Anyway, public made him look like a fool and said that he was wrong. She happens to strongly believe that he was correct. Who wouldn't believe their dad? I would believe my dad. So she goes off on her big quest to go find it. And how does she do? Well, the quest is kind of like an Uncharted game. If you've ever played any of those adventure style actiony games, it's very cinematic. You jump over and you hack on something, and you climb your way up, things fly at you and you dodge it. Of course, the game does a lot of that for you, but it's still fun to watch and fun to play around with. So you'll go through all that kind of stuff. There's combat in it. The combat is solid, and it has a stealth element where you kind of creep around in there. Again, you're fighting. You do fight some animals, but mostly, if you're going to be fighting, it's going to be people. And I love the stealth element of this game. Please do yourself a favor and follow the stealth path. Upgrade that bow. And I say that, but I will also say that later on in the game, the bow becomes kind of a cheap kill kind of thing because it auto aims at the head. But when you actually have to aim for the head, it's really really cool. I think they should have replaced the auto aim with a slow mo style zoom in feature. But that's a small, but still it affects the gameplay. So the actual combat itself is very visceral. You've got you brutally hitting people with ice picks and stuff. It's pretty gross, but it comes back at you as well. When she gets beat up and killed, it's very cringeworthy. I saw her get mauled by a bear, and it was hard to watch. I'm not sure if that was intentional. I'm not gonna say it's a negative because people like violence these days, but it was a little bit rough for me. So the other parts of the game are the exploration. You get around just like by climbing things, going on ledges, and shimmying this way, sidling across walls, doing all that. And the exploration with that is perfect. It's just the right amount of fun versus difficult. It's never that hard, and sometimes you'll find things, which is really cool. And that's commonplace for these types of games. This and like Assassin's Creed does it. I think this game does it better than Assassin's Creed, but that's just my personal taste. So if you're an Assassin's Creed fan, it's not a shot at that. It's just I prefer this a little bit more. Now graphically, I will say this in the gameplay as well. There is an upgrade tree, and I think it's a negative. It's a little bit too broad. So in general, you're always going to upgrade kind of the same group of things. So you'll always find the same advantages, which I thought was a negative. I wish it made you specialize in one thing and get really good at that, but it didn't really follow that. Subtlety could go a long way for these games, but who am I? So graphically, this is probably the best looking game on the Xbox One. It is amazing in the sense of scale that it presents. It has a bloom effect, so that takes out the pop in that might happen. It just blooms in the view, and it has gorgeous lights and gorgeous darks, and the effects that happen when you're playing, just things flying at you and everything, the ice, the weather, the plants, the hair. There's so much hair. People complain that there were frame rate issues. I didn't run into any, at least that were noticeable. So for me, they weren't. If they happened, they didn't affect my gameplay whatsoever. So no complaints there for me. The sound, I didn't love any of the voice actors. Nobody really stood out to me, and I thought it was all very somber and very serious. And I missed that from the Uncharted series. Was that the Uncharted series was they had jokes in the middle of the chaos, and I think this could have done with that. Maybe not to the same length and extent, but just occasionally make me smile because it seems like these characters are all doomed to be miserable. And why do I want to help anybody who's just going to be miserable all the time? It just doesn't really work for me. So that's just a complaint on my end. It's I say it in the sound, but it's kind of a storytelling thing. Now the story itself is not that great. It's okay and serviceable for an action adventure game, but it's nothing that you need to like write home about and say, "Oh my God, they need to make this into a movie." It's fine how it is. Pros, absolutely gorgeous, fun game, especially the stealth. Um, Decent length. It's about I want to say 15 to 16 hours. I can't remember. I beat this a couple weeks ago. Anyway, good length. The cons are the story slash voice acting is a little bit not always terrible, but just nothing really to stand out. I thought that the leveling up system was a little bit weak. I could have done with something a little better with that. And that goes. On the pros, I will say that the weapon system is really cool, where you upgrade your weapons. It's nice, especially when you want to. It lets you kind of level up even specific weapons. Like there's different kinds of bows, and you can level those up specifically. And that's kind of cool. The cons are just those two. How would I rate this game? I would give this game an 8 out of 10. It was very, very good. That's really high on my scale. I know a lot of people's isn't, it's got to be 9.5 or something weird like that. Now, for me, 8 out of 10 means it's a really good game. It's not perfect, but it is a must play, I would say, for the Xbox One. There's a bundle coming out for Black Friday. This is 2015, before Black Friday. There's a bundle coming out that has this in it, and it's like it's super cheap for even a one. I think specifically for the 1 terabyte. Absolutely get it. It is a slam dunk. You will love this game. If you want to do all the side quests, it's about 40 hours, 40 to 60, I would say, but it is so good. You owe it to yourself. This game is fantastic. Highly recommend. This could be a game of the year contender. So, anyway, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Leave your little fun things below. Call me a creeper. I think somebody said I look like a serial killer or a child rapist, or I don't know which one's worse. I think serial killer is, but everyone would say child rapist. The media. So, yeah, leave those comments below, and absolutely thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Have a good one.